You know what this calls me like?
Resilient, Other plans instead. She's always liked to play pretend, but she should be up. It's almost 10, and if not, what then? Who knows when the sun will rise again? Seems we've got too much time to spend. Night will never end. I guess it just depends. Who knows when the sun will rise again? The world should sleep today. Think I deserve a break. You'll see this way it's better. We'll all just nap together. The night will last forever.
That's not funny!
Who knows when the sun will rise again? Seems we've got too much time to spend. Feels like this night will never end. I guess it just depends. Who knows when the sun will rise again? Sun will rise again.
Sun will rise again.
Seems we've got too much time to spend.
Too much time to spend.
Feels like this night will never end. I guess it just depends. Who knows when the sun will rise again?
So be it. They can't let a princess sleep in just once, it seems.
Sleep in! 'Tis 10:30. We are quite certain that thou hast already done a fine job of sleeping in.
Yes, I suppose. Well, up with the sun then.
Really, sister?
What?
It is thy calling.
I should get a break, shouldn't I? I mean, I could have you raise the sun for a while to make up for lost time, right?
What? How canst thou say such a thing?
Fine, fine. Perhaps I am acting a bit childish this morning. At least it's still morning, you know.
Thou art too old for this.
Looks like my secret's been revealed. I'm not a pony after all. What will they seek to disassemble me? Me up against the wall.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, cannon bass, no cello. I'm all about that bass, cannon bass, no cello. I'm all about that bass, cannon bass, no cello. I'm all about that bass, cannon bass. Yeah, it's pretty. pretty clear. I ain't no connoisseur of classical music. Come on, it's such a bore. Cause I got the wobbles that all the clubs play, and all the right drops in all the right places. I see you sneering at me right through my purple shades. We got our differences, but I'd rather love than hate. Don't judge some pony that you don't even know. In this business, it don't matter if your music's fast or slow. Yeah, my mama, she told me, don't worry about your style. She said ponies will love you and they'll stick around a while. Love you, they'll love you. And no, I won't change who I am just to become something now. I'm gonna do my own thing and I know that I'm gonna go far. Because you know I'm all about that bass, cannon bass, no cello. I'm all about that bass, cannon bass, no cello. I'm all about that bass, cannon bass, no cello. I'm all about that bass, cannon bass. I'm bringing Torquay back. No, I don't look it, but I'm pretty bad. With mares, I know on stage I seem real rad. But once I step up, I'm a huge nerd. I confess I'm just a goofy, awkward mess. Yeah, my mama, she told me don't stress over your love life. She said girls come and go, you are one that'll treat you right. Love you. You gotta be happy alone first, don't gotta plan. I know someday I'll find the one who likes me for who I am.
It's the money, yeah. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bong, bong, boom. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bong, bong, boom. She took your coat, I kissed your money. I did all got could have taken a sheet. I gotta get her out, I'm very happy. I get a gummy gun, don't spend the cash. I ain't going to stop, he said, my beach. He cut him off, even now, no, I see. Only back to me, get out, hey, go back, getting that kid, very happy. Get a bit of me, make him on that, he's up to some of that cheap. I'm so sticky that cheap, she made out, then he back up, so keep back, you have any night, on destiny night, I'm here to the mess now, listen, go get me, who ties your dad, the best of you. Mama, he done took a mother to the next, to the east, way. Now singing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bong, bong, bing, bong, bong, oh. Now singing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bong, bong, bing, bong, bong, oh. Now singing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bong, bong, bing, bong, bong, oh. To the next, to the east, way. Hey, but not mama, ain't look that keep it your flicks. Hey, that I'm going to have some man out eat your test. Hey, but not mama, ain't look that keep it your flicks. Hey, that I'm going to have some man out eat your test. enterprise of institutions made to control your lives. We're inside breeding, concocting all the lies that we use to control your mind. Break free from control reality and find your way from this, to get away from it. I'm losing my mind, have I lost my sight? If this quicksand has gone over my eyes, how can I see anything?
Status check. Command on internal. Missile and internal DC. Pressurization complete.
Break free from control reality and find your way from this, to get away from it. I'm losing my mind, have I lost my sight? If this quicksand has gone over my eyes, how can I see anything? But I cannot find a better way from all the better things that you give to me. Oh no, not I cannot find a better way from all the better things that you give to me. If I could see the darkness in the minds and their tainted eyes, I'd make it right.
You know, back when I was in the academy, we would follow every toast with a song. It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Come cheer up, my lads, come cheer up, my lads. 'Tis better to have loved and lost. 'Tis better to have loved and lost. Captain John looked hard and never to have loved at all. The Federation starship, come cheer up, my lads, come cheer up, my lads. 'Tis better to have loved and lost. Captain John looked hard. 17346732147 Charlie 32789777643 Tango 732 Victor 73117887324767897643776 Lock. When I have plucked the rose, G.O. Grey hot, longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease. In faith, I do not love thee. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? When I have plucked the rose, longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease. In faith, I do not love thee. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? 'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all.
an interesting twist.
Terror, terror in the night. A whipping, howling, unforgiving winds crash into the clouds, and rain falls no matter where you turn. There is no escape, no escaping the true horror. Sudden silence, and then screaming thunder, lightning, floods, famine, pestilence, fire, earthquakes. Ah! Giving way to a hazy afternoon sunshine. I'll be back with a 5-day forecast after this.
Alright, hello my little humans, Mr.NoPony here, and welcome to the NoPony Show. We are so glad to have you here to enjoy all of our little ideals and otherwise. Today we will be going back to the old school Megazord. That's right. Although I normally do my buildings on Sundays, I was preoccupied yesterday with cleaning a lot. So there was no show yesterday. There we go. Those are words. Today we will be taking a look at what you get in package number 6 from Fan Homes Megazord if you get the 22-month subscription. So we will continue onward, and yeah, let's go ahead and start our little background music. It's morphin' time, everyone, so prepare yourselves. Get those morphers ready and your tools at hand, because we're going to screw today. It's going to be a lot of screwing today. A lot of finagling to it, if I remember correctly. Alright. So, here we go. So, first we're going to start off with a little package that you get with your, with this one, you get your little, if you go through PayPal, you get a little, additional, what do you call them? Additional things. Words are not my strong suit, as you can tell. This one comes with a t-shirt. They only come in large, so if you need extra large like myself, or you need something bigger, something smaller, well, if you need something smaller, you guys yourself a nice shirt. No, they only come in large. I'm not opening this. I'm going to keep it like so. Here's the other half of it. Make sure there. Alright, if you guys give me 1 second. As you can see right here, up onto the main website, right here, this is what the shirt looks like in its full rendering. As I pull that off to the side and push it down. This is the shirt that you get. It is only in large. You will only get it as an American large. Unfortunately, they do not allow custom sizing. Since this is a limited edition through Fan Homes, I suggest you get a shadow box if you want to keep it in pristine condition for the rest of your life, or leave it in its plastic for a good long time. Either or, you know, put it somewhere where it could be safe, away from mildew. Throw in a couple of those drying packages. You know, do what you want to do. It is yours to deal with. I'm personally keeping it as a collector's item, since I cannot physically wear it anymore. My shoulders are too damn broad for it, and my gut is too outward protruding. Anywho, all right. Now let's get down to it. Today we will be working on the Triceratops again. Yes. And I will have an assistant. This is my assistant. Her name is Heidi. Say hi, Heidi. Say hi, hi. No. Alright. So Heidi will be assisting me by interrupting every little thing I do. So I hope you guys enjoy Heidi's assistance. We still have the opening mouth here. There it is. I do notice one thing that will become an issue. Right here, there's a little bit of extra. The plastic is too sharp, and whenever you try to close it, a little bit of the metal right here, right now, probably will fix itself whenever we get it all together. Is causing issues, so make sure you don't open up the mouth just yet until you get it all done. So we will be jumping right into it. Number 21. Right here, package number 21. In this package, we have left and right horns, parts 1 and 2. You got a chain cover box, a left chain box, right chain box. You know, this could be a deeper well. That's something that could exist. You get horn support, 2 chains. You get 2 4mm screws and 5 2 by 5mm screws, 2 by 4mm screws, plus an additional 1. You do get 1 extra just in case you drop, lose. You know, always good to have some extra ones for what you need. All right, Heidi, if you're going to sit down, go ahead, sit down. The first things first, we are going to get it out into its plastic form. Throw away the trash off to the side. Make sure you have a trash bin nearby. You're going to need it, trust me. It's just easier to clean up afterwards. Alright, so these should be the 6 screws that are your longer ones. These will be your 3 screws that are your shorter type. These will, I believe, are the ones that have the, I'm not sure if you guys can see this. There we go. These have a little mushroom head on it versus a normal screw. Those will probably be used for the for the love of all that is unholy. Let me speak words. It's going to be used to anchor down the chains here. Each one of these chains. The chains are exact same size. Some people complain about how long these chains are. They're saying they're not long enough. You are welcome to go to your local Walmart or hobby store. Get yourself some longer chains, but they may not fit into the chain box. Let's see. We are going to need. There is something. This thing, cover L1 is on the inside. Okay. So we are going to do with 21A, the left side. And supposedly right here, on the inside, it's supposed to be like an L1 or right or left. I don't think it really matters because the next two steps are exactly the same. Find their corresponding sides. And we are going to put the chain between the bottom half. We need the larger one. You want to go for the side with the holes here. We're going to put the larger one around. If you can. Easily. So I'm trying to show you guys on a... Don't need to pay attention as much. Alright. Let's see if we could get it right there into some good lighting. Here we go. Let's see if I can increase the lighting around here. I should have done the lighting first. Yeah. Live and learn. Alright. I'm not sure if you guys could see that. But right there on the bottom loop, the larger one will have to go there. If I'm reading that instructions right. Alright. Next applies is position the largest ring. Yep. Largest ring. And all we have to do is align them. Double check to make sure we don't have the same issues as we did with the fangs. Nope, that's not the right side. Whoops. Hello, goodbye. There we go. Make sure we got the right side. Go ahead and squish together. Popped in properly. Up. Make sure the chain stays center point. I did hear there were some difficulties whenever this was released by Altea about the there we go. No, I'm not sure which side's which. I wanted to stay connected. We're gonna have another issue. My X-Acto knife. I'm gonna have to go get an X-Acto knife. I'm gonna also bought a pair of tweezers as well to control this a lot easier. I'm just gonna set that over there with this a little left over from the There we go. Come on. Oh wait. Is there supposed to be a gap right there? It's molded in like that. Oh! No, I think it's supposed to go all the way closed. Just uneven. So weird. Look, the patterns don't even match properly. It has a different pattern on the top and the bottom. Don't know if that's supposed to be the way it is, but boy, that does not want to come loose. That's good. And bad at the same time. Good that it has... What the hell? Oh, that's wood glue coming off my hand. You see my short up onto the LOL surprise. You know I use wood glue onto it. Surprise mention, you know I use wood glue for repairs. One of the things I did just the other day. What am I helping me? Alright. Cool. Looks like we're making some progress. Be careful not to cut yourself or break the blade. Thing you want to do is hurt yourself at any point in time while grinding hard. There we go. This part has a little bit of the wood there. On the inside, so it won't hurt, but looks like there was a little bit of the sprue that the blue sprue that was used. Blue molding sprue. This is vacuum soaked plastic. Sorry, my voice is cracking a bit. Yeah. Put that on like that. Release. Drop back down. And we should be able to close up properly. Now I'm gonna hold down properly. Alright then. Let me see something. There shows nothing about any type of gap for this. So just gonna take a little bit of this plastic glue. I'm gonna go ahead and try to pry this apart. Just enough to actually get the glue in. Come on. There we go. Go ahead and squeeze down. I'm just going to use this real quick to hold it together. Looks like this may have been a mismatch in way they cleaned it off. The reason why there's some mold degradation. Plastic mold degradation. This is, although the next part was the only part that was actually delayed a lot. I don't know why we're putting on the back side, but I think I'm out of normal people. Not. Just gonna have to deal with it later. Looks like I'm out of the normal super glue. I'll have to go to the store and get some in a few. Alright. We're just gonna go ahead and jump right on it into our next form. Before we do anything. Yep, there's supposed to be, that's right. That's supposed to connect right there. That was not on there, on the other one. Looks like they may have accidentally clipped it off. So I will actually get some glue and fix that. In the meantime, in the meantime, I'm gonna sound like a teenager going through puberty. I digress. Just gonna align everything up, make sure the chain is going straight down. Make sure that goes in properly. There we go. Okay, make sure the chains are in the right areas. Go ahead and put those together. Done right. Yep, there we go. No gaps. No gaps whatsoever. Well, except for back here. But that's natural gaps. Supposed to have them. It's supposed to have them, I suppose. Oh. Where is it? Nope. Nope. No gapping on both sides. There we go. We'll put the Exacto knife over there. There was supposed to be a little peg here that's supposed to go in the hole. Unfortunately, it looks like it was cut off by accident by the manufacturer. That sometimes happens, you know. You even do it in what do you call them? Gundam model kits sometimes. That's something that happens, you know. All right. So what's up next? All right. So we are going side the buckets are. Let me see that. Wait, under? Okay, it wants to look like this. Okay, I see. That's how you want it to look like. Cool. We're gonna need our screwdriver. Grab a pair of scissors, make sure you're careful with them. Open up our little screws. Get them all out. Come on. Apparently I didn't go deep enough. We're gonna take one screw. Now this is the right side. We're going to take the this part is going to go underneath. Oh. There's a screw hole here. See if I could actually angle this for you guys. Yes, there we go. So the screw hole here where the screw will go into. Now, underneath that is where the bucket will be. So the screw will go here. And that's the first time I've ever got the screw. And left over. There we are. I'm holding it underneath here, like so, after we align it, which isn't very easy. If you're having trouble doing this, do yourself a favor. The screw needs to be removed. We're going to set it off to the side on its own. We are just going to separate the head to make this a lot easier. Now this head splitting is only temporary. Go ahead and so we could actually have our space to work with everything. I'll just align everything back up and put it back in place since it's not that hard to do so. Bucket should have been first before attaching both sides to each other, in my opinion. Alright, there we go. This is going to be the most awkward thing because of the way the metal is in the way. Yeah, there we go. One bucket down, done. One bucket done. It's all done. Done, I say. One more to go. Alright. And after this, we'll just reconnect everything. I know it makes it a little bit more complicated, a little bit more out of this world, but you get the clearance you need to do what you gotta do. And that's what matters here. You gotta do a little extra just to get that clearance. Do a little extra. Come on. Come on, you. Now just gotta make sure you can do your job. Be done with all that. We could have actually added the buckets in early and no interference with. We might want to make sure we don't interfere with the wiring. I don't want to cramp any wiring by accident. Make sure it's all out of the way. Definitely. We definitely want to make sure that all the wiring and everything is out of the way. We don't want to make any mistakes up onto accidentally destroying the wires. You want the lights to work. You want the eyes to light up. There we go. Make sure all the wiring's out of the way. Are. Did not do that. Same courtesy here, so we got to backpack a bit. Alright. Wiring's now out of the way. And we are going to be easily screwing that back. A lot easier to screw it back in once it's already been threaded. There we go. Go ahead and push the wires out of the way again. Cool. Alright, and our left. Next, we just put this straw back in. This side, by the way, still has the word mix match side. Little rubber connectors. Make sure everything's correct. Back down, wait, and there we go. Make sure everything's level, push it down, make sure it's flush with everything. We're good up onto that part. The wires can still point out backwards, but make sure they are completely out of the way from the edges. You want to make sure these wires are always out of the way of the edges. They're going straight down and then out. You just do whatever with the wires. Don't destroy them. You don't want to do that. You don't want to hurt them. Alright, the most difficult part. So, one of these. Next, we're going to take this holds the horns. You got to make sure that the open sections where the chains will slide down or downward. Replace it and line it up properly. Sorry, I'm losing my voice here. Yep. We're going to take 2 screws at the same type, plastic on plastic. Black screws go to plastic, silver screws go to metal. One thing I've learned. Alright. We're just aligning everything up with the screw holes right here. One's on the bottom. Now here comes the part that's really finagly. First things first, you want to make sure that you get the right direction. So it doesn't hurt to actually just preset them in to see what they look like. If you get them wrong, you get them wrong. Now, duly noted that I've been told that these horns can become very loose. Now, they want to keep the chain horn ability with these horns for whatever reason. I don't know. That is a reason. That is something. So, once you get them corrected, take something like this, one pair of pliers, and each one of them is going to be, right, see these two holes? You're going to tie left and right side, left side. You're going to screw them down into these two holes here. This would be held. This would be held down by these. Now you still have two screws, which means you have a center screw that'll go right there, and it's going to be done by this. Whichever. So you actually get a good idea on which direction it is. Yeah, there we go. Looks great, right? Before we go in, make sure drop those down in. All right, there we go. Yeah, right down left. Go ahead and pull that out. This will make your life a hell of a lot easier by holding this ring with a pair of pliers. Let me get this trash out of the way. By using that, it should make it a lot easier for you to actually screw in the additional screws. And as long as your screwdriver is magnetic like this, again, if you have a magnet at home on your icebox, that'll do well. If not, you have a magnetizer and demagnetizer you can pick up in any multi-tool kit for electronics. Now by holding this into place, makes it a lot easier once you start it, and then release. Now make sure the chain is holding. After you started, you want to pull your chain to where it's up here in the upper bucket area or side area. That way whenever you get all the way down, or you could just wrap it around to the back, either or. That way whenever you get down to this point, there you go. By the way, you can find these over at Hobby Lobby. They're like $5-6. I don't remember. I guess it's a while back, so I don't remember the exact price. But if you ever need them, that's where you can find them. Now we'll just go ahead and let that put away any. Should always put away some foreign objects like those. All right. Go ahead and start from the back end so we don't have to deal with this later. We'll go ahead and hold that in place. Hold on. place. There we go, we got it started going. Yeah. I know you've probably seen this done 100 times by other people. I just wanted to do it because it's fun. Plus I'm bored. Why not? Alright. Now you're gonna pull the chain up forward. Ooh, I hear thunder outside. Yay! Means I don't get to work on my vehicle and change the oil. I'm being sarcastic here, of course. Alright. Now, according to this, alright, as you saw beforehand, this will go dead center and a screw will come in through here. Make sure this part with the indentation is facing towards the back of the skull. And this section towards the notch. Go ahead and place that in there. The instructions are try to make it look difficult, but it's just that easy. I thought this would be more difficult, but thankfully I had some tools on hand to allow it. And then you just go in to dead center and we screw it down. Alright, that's nice and done well. Get the drop these down. Cool, that one actually locks into place. And drop it down. Alright, looks like on my copy it is a lot sturdier than some other copies. And it's great. We're almost there. We're a little over halfway. Look, I love the fact that it doesn't actually come out. That's actually good up on my copy. Still disappointed about the horn here, but like I said, I could just take some super glue and fix that later. In fact, it really doesn't mess with the aesthetics. I'm just gonna forget about it. Alright, we are done with that one. So next we will go on to number 22. Oh boy. We got some things to do. Cool. It comes with about it. Now I actually have, I'm losing my voice here, so forgive me for sounding like an old man. So, I'm not even going to fight it. I'm not going to clear my voice, I'm just going to continue on like this. So, after we go ahead and nip it open. Toss that aside. Number 22 is here. Actually, give me 1 second. Okay, that'll work as a good coaster. Anyway, yeah, we'll go ahead and pull out the fingers. Now this number, package 6 actually goes all the way to number 26. I am going to actually leave 26 for next week's deal because it has a lot to do with the Megazord's arms and, well, the Tyrannosaurus arms, and I don't have anything to actually work with that part. So this will be, we're only going to go up to number 25 today because of that. If we're going to do the arms, we're going to do both arms at once. Alright. Of course, we have the Triceratops and it's the back of its head. Now this is a slight difference from its counterpart, it looks like. The saber-toothed tiger. I think due to its transformation, or its lack thereof, I think this one actually has to pull out the treads with it, if I remember correctly. There's a battery. before I get these confused. Screw 1. Screw 2. Both of those screws are now put up. Alright, we have a ton of these screws here, as you can see. Hopefully my vocals will return. A highlighter was thrown at me. I'm going to go ahead and drop all the screws out. Of course there is an extra screw with them. I have plenty of extra screws. I always have screws in it. Little jar. My jar of screws. Ah, screw you. Alright, we know what the batteries are going to be like. So let's see what our first task is. What should we do first? Okay. So we need the street. We need to throw everything on the floor. That's what we need to do. That's exactly what I'm doing, huh? I don't know why my vocals decided to just drop out now. Okay, so we'll take this bar. One side has a flat side and the other side has a circle. And if we know how this works, this is going to have the flat side enter over here with this little piece, with this little extra nodule that spins on the outside, and it's both sides all the way through to the circle. Now we just align it and we try to push it all the way through. We don't have enough strength. Go! Okay. Apparently it'll actually just jump right out of it. Try to get your thumbnails in. That doesn't work. Find something strong enough. Push again. There we go. There we are. Just like that. All the way in. Ooh. Don't do it on anything wood. You'll leave a mark. Alright. According to the instructions, my fingers don't want to work properly. This flat side, it's going to go like this. It's going to go in there. You want to make sure that this section, the outer protruding section, is that way. So you push it all the way in and get it into position. The same goes for this side. Apparently, you're just going to drop it in like so, right? Well, it's supposedly like this, but that's very loose, so I guess that's exactly what it wants. Don't know what it's going to do with it being so loose, but okay. Whichever way you want to do it. They'll probably just stay there as an anchor, most likely. Next, it wants us to take the battery here, open her up, make sure you use your thumb and fingers, hold down any type of wiring past the area you're going to actually cut. Trust me, I tried to rip this bag, it doesn't want to rip. These are meant for easy ripping, but it's not. It's just not. Just use scissors and make sure you know where you're cutting. Toss that aside. I'll toss it in the trash, but you know. Fight with getting this white paper off of white parchment, white paper off this sticky stuff, sticky area. Align with the edges and wrap it around. Insulate your little battery so it has something around it. There we go. Nice and insulated now. And see, this is where it's probably going to end up going. I'm pretty sure it's like this. Am I correct? Oh, no I'm not. Apparently. The wiring is down like so, and apparently towards the back. This is how it's supposed to go. Right here. This will go over this. First. It's going to go through here as you're up, down, whatever. There you go, your anchor center there. Because this is the loosest side that we have to deal with, I'm going to go for that side to be anchored in first. I'm going to do a crisscross, which is probably your better bet. Starting off with the top section here. Go ahead and screw that down. Hold on, let me make sure that I can pay attention to the screws before we nope, they're all different. Okay, they only look different. Crisscross up and then across. Again. There we go. So far, so good. If you watched any of my other streams, you noticed that my voice has changed. That's because for some reason it decided to go out on me. Slightly. I'm just gonna deal with it. Yeah, we're just gonna deal with it. But it doesn't seem to hurt any of my other vocals. My talent range has not diminished. What? No, man! Just your normal voice. Well, it's a normal voice. Alright, I don't recognize that number. So if they want to talk to me, they can leave me a voicemail. Alright, there we go. That's done. Okay, so just pass that away right now. I think that's all we're doing. Nope. No, apparently what we're going to be doing, right, push it all the way back in, make sure everything's golden. Come on. Shake, shake, shake. We're just going to pop it up right here. Gonna make sure all this is downwards, like so. I'm going to be placing the back of the skull, the head. I'm going to screw in these 4 screws. Hold on. Everything on the bottom. I'm going to take a look at the next step, which is supposed to insert all the electronics. How much fighting am I going to have to do first? I want to know this right beforehand. I do anything. Oh, hell no. Alright, listen up. This is going on last. I will place all the screws off to the side. That part's going in last. I am not fighting with everything. I don't know why they decided to make this 21 when it should be 22. Or 23, I mean. 22 instead of 23. So we are just going to stop since there's only one item left to do. And I can see why they said the horns are a little loose. Yeah, I think the chain molds need to be a little deeper. Yeah, whatever. We'll just have the horns off to the side real quick. We are just going to skip to 23, finish this up in just a minute after we install everything on here first. And not fighting with insurmountable things, odds or whatever. Go ahead and open it, trash it, and let's grab it. Clear tape. By the way, this will be your best friend with this project. In certain areas. Anytime you have to deal with the buttons, it'll be your best friend. Talking about our best friends. Oh yeah. So I'm going to go back up top. See, we have nothing but the same type of screws for everything. So first thing first, let's go ahead and get our screws out because we're going to be using them right off the bat. Go ahead and empty them out there. Or trash it here. Throw that away. Now, according to the instructions, we are going to be taking these two pieces. There we go. All nice like that. Very good. Very beautiful. And these two sections here, going to be screwed right on in. Right here. Right now. Alright. Oh, no, I don't need that one. Need one more. Like I said, I'm not fighting with anything. I refuse. Alright. Next, we are going to be grabbing the sensor. Which is this electronic. Don't forget to unravel it. Like a little coil spring. I don't know what the hell they're thinking with brands when they make these. But look at the surplus over here in the United States is cool. Alright, there's a little indentation here for the light bulb, for the sensor here. Let's see, which direction do we want to have the wiring? Towards the back? Okay, wiring's supposed to be towards the back. Now this is shown to be all white in the instructions, but apparently it's just painted white on top. They just made it all blue. They decided they were going to be blue, D double I. About it. It just had to be blue. It's a blue Christmas without you. It'll be so blue without the Triceratops to support you. Is a leg and the foot. I wonder if anybody ever just decided to take like two Triceratops or two saber-tooth tigers and just put them on their duplicates just for fun. Probably do that with the Triceratops since I haven't. The Legacy one and a 2010, they're basically the same damn thing. Alright, there we go. We got that done. So, next. Account. Okay. So I want you to pull this forward with it being back there, which honestly I don't know why, but whatever. You're fine. So it'll just go right through here on the bottom half of this. This is the reason why I decided not to go through with the original plan that they had in there. Align everything up. This is going to get annoying. Try to get these out of the way off to the side. What you want to do is try to align these two pegs here with these two holes here, coming in from the front. Alright, once that clicks down, click it down here, make sure everything aligns up. Next we're going to take a single screw, we're just going to go right there, dead center of the nos, and we're going to screw so we can't screw it anymore. There we go. Next we're going to take this part. Now it has this like curve. You want the curve going towards the back of the skull with the flatter side going towards the front. And just slide on. Now, this looks like it could be slid off easily, but it won't need to. It's good. If you want to glue it down, you can glue it down yourself. Alright. And another reason why I kept everything as is. Go ahead and bring this back over here. This is sometimes you have to look ahead on the instructions and say, I can do better. First things first, we are going to take some tape right here. We are going to place it on the outside. Going to make a little bit of a pull tab here. Next, we are going to grab with our tweezers this here. This is the power button. These tweezers like to close in on its own, but it's not necessary. We're going to place it here. Make sure that the power button gets stuck. You don't want it falling off. That's the good part. Next, we are going to take this circuit board. Let me double check the instructions. Yes, of course. We are going to set it in position like so. As necessary, make sure everything fits in its rightful area. There are two holes, both sides, right there. We're just going to take two screws. So you're going to screw them down like that. Side one. Side two. Make sure you don't damage the circuit board. You don't want to do that. Now that that's done and over with, come over here to the plastic, to the tape. Grab that part, take it on off. There we go. Alright. We're gonna have, each one of these are gonna have left, right eyes. They're gonna be the eyes are gonna be the two smaller ones. You just place those where it needs to go. And the larger one. Basically use some common sense, you know. I don't think it really matters on which side they are because they'll light up simultaneously, but you know, if you just want to be simplistic about it, do it that way. Oh, come on. I'm putting it in upside down. Yes. Not damage the circuit board like I said. There we go. Get it all in there. Next we'll follow up by the your power button. Like I said, this makes it a lot easier. And you can fiddle faddle with it a lot more. This is legitimately something you do at the very last to make things a lot less on the head. You can assemble it, do some assembly to this point. Next, pushing all the wires around and down here on the bottom. For that, hold 3 seconds. Oh, come on. Don't tell me you don't have any energy. Well, if it doesn't have any power, luckily I have a micro USB right here. Yep, there it goes. Looks like our lights work. Alright, looks like it's going to take some time for the car to be charged up onto its next section. Going to go ahead and try to push that all the way into this little crevice here. I forgot to state that there are 4 posts on both sides that will actually line up. What the hell did my accent actually change along with my voice? What the hell is going on around here? Am I switching into a different personality? I hope not. The one I have is hard enough to deal with. Anyway, go ahead and just screw in right here. Sometimes doing things out of order is probably the better bet. And I do believe I made the better bet up onto making things a lot easier to get things where they need to be. And if that battery doesn't work after being charged up for a little bit, then I'm just gonna have to replace it with one of the extras. I have no idea what I would do. Alright. I don't think I have any chats. Let me go ahead and check on that. One of these things are. I got nothing on Kick, nothing on Twitch. And I'm pretty damn sure, you know, there's nothing that's fun to it. The lights, I've fun to use too. You get that far behind now. Oh, there we are. Fortunately, my lighting around here is not very well. I just don't have the extra money for it. Go. I'm gonna go ahead and just charge this up for a little while. As it charges, its eyes will blue. There we go. There really should have been something designed into these horns that allow them to actually have a little click in place. Ah, there it is. That's the point where people are saying that it's loose. I think I know how to do this. So it all screws in together properly tight. Honestly, an extra little bit of friction might be able to do it just right. I think I might be able to come up with something. I'll get my 3D printer on it. Some modeling to it. Go ahead and set this aside. Let it charge up for like half an hour. Or until I'm done with the rest of this. Seriously, I have no idea what the hell's going on with my voice or his accent about it. I'm just gonna lean into it, whatever. Not right. So, I know I'm going to need this. Because we are going to start on the head of the Megazord. Let's say we'll have some cranial attacks. There we go. Alright, so let's continue on. What was I doing? Oh yes, right. I was going back to the instructions. And 23 are out of loop. But yes, do 23's final step after you do 22 step after you do number 23. This will make a lot easier on getting everything where you need it to be, how you need it to be, where it's gotta go. This trash. Tools in one area. Make sure we keep everything organized and clean. Give me a second. I'm going to deal with some extra light. It's gonna blind me more than it's gonna blind you guys. Take off the lens shade. There we go. Let's turn off that light because it's not the battery powered light. It's not doing us any good anymore. I'm gonna move this over here. You can get the lighting for you. There we go. We got a nice glare. Only on the plastic. Alright, here's our next step. Oh, and we have spruce. 1 second. For somebody who loves Gundam model kits, we can never not have one of these lying around. I got like 6 or 7 of these. And it also comes free with every 3D printer. And I have a couple of them. Literally, just 2. Alright. Let's have some cranial build. First thing first, let me check to see if there is any different type of screws. Okay, all the screws are going to be the same. So we're not going to go directly into this just yet, because all this is going to attach. I'm pretty sure of it if I remember correctly from what I've seen on other people's vids. Like I said, I am not the only person who's ever done this. Alright, first things first, fat fingers. Num num. Ooh, I really love the feel of these. That's nice. I miss having toys that are actually sharp, that have sharp edges whenever for kitties. I guess they decided after at this level they were just going to keep everything on sprues and allow people just to take them off because, well, why not? Right. There we go. Them back together, pop it in the trash, make less space, more waste. There's all my screws. Alright, according to this, we are going to start off by putting this on top of the transfer circuit. The one thing I actually do like about this entire board is that there are certain sections that are pre-done like this. It's just beautiful. And you just have to add it to this. Now, orange. I would love to do a comparison later on whenever they're all done and completed to each version I have in their individual modes. I forgot to do that. What they're wanting us to do is set the cap up onto the top and then screw in these 4 pieces. This is how they want us to do it. I can't guarantee my voice will be like this the next time we do a video. So if you like my voice like this, I'm just gonna have to rough it up a bit. There we go. There you are. Now normally I should have done the cross, which was a much better idea. But that's only for whenever you need to tie something down really bad and it's loose up onto the 2 sides. Similar on how you would do a tire. Alright. Well, that's done. Alright. So we're going to have to you need which side? 6, inner eye. For left. We want the left side. Now you won't be able to see this, folks, but there is a little L in this one and a little R in this one. So you will be able to tell the difference between the two. So we get close to the plastic as possible and snip on both sides to release our piece. Now these don't matter on which side you go for. You want to make sure. Trying to get this weird wiring off. Anyway. Interesting. Interesting on how these LEDs are designed. And judging by the way it wants us to do this, and there is a lot, and I mean a lot of glue on this. We're gonna have to make sure our wiring's out of the way of the tiny. Here, let me see if I can get it focused. Tiny LED right there. So it just wants us to set it in wires to come down here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, what is about to happen? It wants 24. We need our left side eyeball, which has an L and an R right here on the top section. Makes it a lot easier to tell which one's which. We're going to repeat this for our right side, so we won't need the instructions. Should be this side. Yep. It's going down. Oh. Yeah, let's try not to actually fumble everything. Much. Alright. Gonna make sure that the back side of this is pointed towards the okay. Yeah, you want to make sure this is up against the back here. And your LED's out of the way, and then we don't want any interference, of course, with the lighting. Gonna line everything up. Yes, that's what I thought. I'm right. It's a little difficult. The wiring does not want to stay in. If the wiring doesn't want to stay in place, you have one simple trick. Tape. Place it in a non-conspicuous area. Make sure you dog ear it, or just create an area where you could actually just grab up onto it at any point. Well enough. I have it shifting inward into the die back in there. wire is making things really difficult right now. The wire wants to be the main weight of everything, because it's heavier. In addition, I think I'm putting it on the wrong side anyway. Oh, for the love of all that is unholy. Come on, man. Okay, cool. Make sure. Yes, this wire piece on the right, on the correct side, should be facing backwards. Now with it held into place, screw down one side, all the way down. Here we go. Cool. That's done. We are going to repeat the same thing over again. Snippy, 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 snippy. Now it's on their side. Go, go, Power Rangers! Alright. See, this one is done properly. The other one wasn't. It's just the way it's going to be. Going to pull this forward. You can see the heat was done. The wiring was done towards the LED instead of away from it. Things like that will happen. You want to place the LED with the wiring closer to the to this little indentation right here, and you want it. There's 3 grooves right there. You want it in the groove in the very back, like so. This will be the most solid place you can get it. Next, of course, place the eye in. Make sure it's properly placed. Need a moment. Judging by the designs, the thicker side of the you have the way it's cut out here. You have one side of the plastic that's protruding a little bit more than the others. That will go towards the front, go towards the top of the head. Yeah. As there's a similar groove right here in the inside of it. Now again, we will have some difficulties with the signing. Once you get it into place, hold it there. Use your other hand to use your screwdriver to get a screw. Line it up on the tip. It's still enough, and just screw it down. Toss away the extra screw because we're not going to need it. And there we go. part's done. Now apparently this needs to go into these grooves. There are grooves all over here. These posts on the side will all go into these little grooves. Be careful, they are sharp. They are painful. These are painful teeth. I forgot about it, that's why I wasn't preparing myself for it. Just go for the edges around it if you just don't want to push down. And raw. We have half a head. Alright. And that is it. That's what this one's done for. If you haven't noticed, or can tell just yet. Just gonna rest. Well, not all the way, because apparently. Oh, there we go. That's probably more like it. I could have sworn that most of the probably how it's gonna go because apparently nothing else wants to fit into it. Mouth. Are you just gonna have an open mouth? That's not nice. This is way too, yeah. I don't know how. I know there's a face covering. All of a sudden, my Pokemon's done. I mean, ready. Or some kind of notification towards it. Customized notifications. That's the one thing I love about Android phones versus Apple. You can easily customize it. Notifications. Alright, real quick, it's been charging for a minute. There was a bit of a flash here. Oh, sorry. Anyway, these are charged up with real good weight for the Triceratops head. Like I said, if I need to replace batteries, I got batteries. I got plenty of batteries. Alright. We have a couple of different things. These instructions are we're going to be assembling the head. We got 4 silicone rings, 3 washers, and 2 rubber gel bushes. Alright, it looks like the silicone rings are going to be bigger. So we are going to be doing a really complicated part. We are finishing up the Tyrannosaurus Rex head. I'm going to go ahead and place the main body over there for now. I don't know why I'm fighting with it. What's smart, Danny? Not hard. If you get the reference, you're a Roseanne fan. Ed! Enough, Ed! Alright. So, what we're going to be doing first, it looks like we are going to be creating some jawline. Before we do that, we've got to get into it. Once I got it, then I have to go for it. So we're going to need these two. It's just basically line up and slide together. We're just making the bottom jaw. There we go. And we got our blaster. These slots here are going to line up with these grooves here. Now, if you later on want to just come in, glue it down, look at that. That's loose. I don't trust that not to come out. So it might be a good idea to there we go. To go ahead and put some glue on in those areas. If you feel like it's not going to stay, use a little extra glue. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, next we are going to be taking the main Tyrannosaurus head top. Put those off to the side. We got one of these. What's the metal bushing, right? Yeah, that looks about right. We have 3 of these weird looking screws. We have big rubber ones and 3 of these metal ones. There's our rubber jaws. Yeah. No, we want one of them after here. Instructions ask for 2514. So 3 washers. Okay, so we want the metal, these tiny little metal washers. Okay. Now, if I'm going to control these things properly, I don't want to lose them. Okay. Let's pick it up with a screwdriver. The best way. Let me check on the instructions. Here is what they want. Okay, we have inner and outer here. We want the part of it well, which is the left ear. Okay, we have the left ear piece. So the easier thing to do is not lose your little washer, which can be. First, put the washer on the screw. Make it a lot easier, especially with your low magnetism. Be careful on setting that down. Now let's see. So it wants to start off with the left side, with this side here. There's 2 little holes here that will line up here along with the screw hole here. You want to join them, and you want to make sure the pointing tip is out. Next, take your washer and screw and attach it to this section here. And screw in very tightly. Give you some resistance because you're just now threading it. The plastic gets up as it should. Alright. Oh, okay, I think I did this a little wrong. Okay, so, let's figure out this side. This can be unscrewed, but I will be leaving it as is. If I want to do this again. Set that there. Grab another screw. Okay, the first part, correct on what we're doing, wrong on order of operations. I have the instructions blown up so I got them confused on what to switch. You just want a normal screw here. It's just fine. Makes it a lot easier. Alright, there we go. So we're going to use this. This does not look like it's going to get any easier. You're going to need one of these caps as well. Like it doesn't matter on which side you get, they're just the same. Place those there. Put that off to the side. It's going to be a cap. We're going to need the neck. Do I need anything else other than the washer? Low rubber washer. No, I'm not. And okay, so where is the instructions I've ever read? So according to this, put the silicone ring into one of the head pivots, the Tyrannosaurus. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up these silicone rings. Make sure you only get 4, so there's no undoing any destruction to them. Don't want to come out of this plastic bag. Oh well. Oh wait. Purple was just I don't want to know, right? Right, go here. Alright. Going to need one ring around the this part here. There we go. One ring on that. Now what's full over here? You look at it. Okay. Pull your wires up over the head. You need them out of the way. Okay, see this hole here? A lot of this is going to fit in there. So what you're going to do is, first, you're going to take your Tyrannosaurus Rex neck brace, or head up, hider. Okay, I see. So this is going to be fun on the bun. Part of this will go in here. Other silicone one will go on the outside. So bring it on the opposite direction. Why the hell am I going through this much trouble? No, we are not. We are not doing this much trouble just for this. It's easier just to clip the head on than all of this. Put you aside. You're just going to take this, make sure everything's aligned up properly. Now we're going to need our little screw. Scissors. Nope. Put that over there. Go ahead and push it in here. Set everything up as is necessary. Good. Okay, that's concerning. Oh, it's still attached to this area. Oh, that's staticky. What was I doing again? Oh, right. Goes all the way through to the other side. Be held in proper. Come on. Okay, this part is frustrating. But I will get it. There we go. Realign everything up. There we go. I take it off camera, but I got it lying. And do the same thing to the other side. There we go. Put it enough friction. Should. Okay, this is flexible enough for me to actually do what I need to do. Screw what the instructions say. Do this first. It'll make it much easier on yourself. Not by a lot, but it will make it easier. So. Let me go ahead. Put my plastic off. That's gonna bug me if I don't do that. There we go. Yep. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's a lot easier this time. There we are. Much better. Now we take this. Just line them up. Both sides. Did I actually do the lower jaw before I did the top jaw? Nah. Actually, kind of, yeah. Look, it's gonna tell you to do something entirely different, but trust me. going to do right here and right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put these both sides of the jowl. Well, it's still flexible. The best bet is while it's still flexible. Take the silicone out. There we go. A lot easier. Pretty sure it would have made it a hell of a lot harder if I waited to do this later. And yes, this is definitely going to have to be glued. So we're going to have to go at an angle for each one of these screws, but that's fine. Go ahead and I'm going to spring that down on this side. I need these wires to stay out of my way, so I'm just gonna have them have it hold it like that. Yeah. That'll do the trick. Next we'll go. Left, right, it don't matter. Lock it down. Oh, that had a satisfying click. Oh, that's all I needed to do for the for that part. Yeah, I think these are part of the attachment to the neck. Got it. On. Sometimes the instructions don't give you common sense tactics. Sometimes you just have to figure it out yourself before you actually go into it all hardcore. There we go. Click in, lock in. Beautiful. Look at that head. Coming out nice. Hold on. Yeah, I forgot to. Should be able to put these. Also, don't be a moron like me and just forget to do a step. Have to undo everything. There we go. Like I said, very flexible. I forgot to put the screw in here. So proud of myself for outsmarting the thing. I outsmarted myself. You know, dummy stuff. There we go. I got wires in my mouth. I'm eating myself. No, because that's flashback to when it was destroyed. Oh wait, this was actually never destroyed. Neither were the Thunderzords. Yeah, that is definitely gonna. Yeah, I know I keep harping on it, but yeah, it's coming out way too easy. I'm just gonna put it off to the side. Reaching in here to pull these wires out of the way. Put some back in the way in a minute. No, it's pretty cool. I might be able to use one of these for a project. One of these screws here. Any of you guys have an extra pink Shogun Ranger? Shogun Zord? That you just want to paint white? But can't? Alright. That part. Let me clean up some of this extra trash around here. Well, these screws look like they would be perfect for the pin replacement for it. Right. So drop that down. Continue on. Alright. We have a left and a right. Oh. I don't know what size of wood, but it should fit in properly. There's a left and right on both of these, so put it outwards like this. Supposed to be the right side. Yeah, that's right. It'll line up perfectly. So left side, right side. I guess proper. I'm bad with my left and right, so that's just like that for you. If you don't have clear labels on them, I'm not really good. Guys, you don't know which left and which right they are talking about. There you go. I think we have one more deal. Alright. And we're gonna have to open up the mouth and get the wires back on the other side. Want to make sure that the wires are coming down. I believe so. We want to make sure the head's oriented like this. Just gonna pick this up to it. Alright. I'm just gonna clip the wires on the side of the edge here. Shouldn't be any issues with that. Hold into place like this. Going to grab one screw here. Start going down on it. partial. I'm gonna check the other screw here. Basically in place. Now you can't really see it. This is the camera. There we go. Other words go off here to the back. For now, the Megazord two heads together. Figure they probably just do light piping, but no, if I'm not mistaken, that's not what they're doing. This will have its own individual power cell into the main body. Now, if I need to just move the wires to wherever. Okay, it shows the wires need to come out from the bottom half. Now it fits properly. A little bit more forward, so yeah. Alright, there we go. When we can look inside, we see a bit of a, there we go, guys. A head. Can't reach the power button here, but we can charge it in the back of its neck. There will be main body, I believe, is the main body is where we're going to have the rest of this. I'm just going to set this in proper, like so. Honestly, glue. Super glue it down. It's not going to stay in its spot. Nyong. That mouse is not going to loose. As long as you're holding that part loose. Alright. Now we got, what? 3 out of 5 heads done. We'll be moving on to the rest of the Tyrannosaurus Rex body, I believe, in the next one. But until then, you know, we got what we got. This has all been fun. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up here, clean up my tools, and we'll be right back. So enjoy your commercial break.
Will you be the one to witness the birth of the incredible Nintendo Entertainment System? The one to play with Rob, the extraordinary video robot, batteries not included. He helps you tackle even the toughest challenge. Will you be the first to raise the incredibly accurate Zapper and play games like Duck Hunt or action-packed Hogan's Alley and high-flying Kung Fu, each sold separately? Will you be the one to experience the Nintendo Entertainment System? Comes with Rob, Zapper, Control Deck, 2 controllers, Gyromite, and Duck Hunt.
decide to step up to this kind of power, this kind of challenge, this kind of flying, crashing, feeling. When you decide to get serious, there's only one place to come. The games of Super Nintendo. No one else creates this kind of experience, because no one else creates these kinds of games. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
Young Bobby Engels has a problem. He needs to earn the respect of his peers. So he gets Sega Genesis, the ultimate action system. And then he buys Mortal Kombat, the arcade edition, and the all-new Shinobi 3, and Marvel's X-Men. Now, things are pretty much okay.
I said chocolate chip. Say it. Say it.
Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be the only one for me is you.
Something's gone wrong in the happy-go-lucky world of Nintendo. Introducing Super Smash Bros., where all your favorite characters go toe-to-toe in one 4-player star-studded slam fest. Only on Nintendo 64.
From Sony's PlayStation come the greatest hits, all your old favorites.
Like the soft sounds of swarming missiles.
And the gentle crack of Sophia's whip.
Even the hilarious antics of Sweet Tooth, that lovable clown.
All for just $24.99 each, but wait.
There's more? Oh.
That's right, the PlayStation is a mere $149, and you can also get leading titles.
Like Crash Bandicoot and Jet Moto.
For just $49.99 and less.
You are not ready.
There once was a town that worked so hard, there was just no time for play. But that all changed on this one particular day. There's a time for work, and there's a time for play. Six Flags. It's playtime.
This is the day you have trained for. The day you have studied for. Utilize your superior skills. Your superior intelligence.
Sit down, rodent.
Oh dear.
Sarah, baby. Oh, you were one.
Don't make me hurt you. Learn to defeat your ruthless enemy, Steve of Hackensack.
Brian, you're gonna get roofed.
Shut up, quadruped.
Sega Dreamcast. It's thinking.
Nintendo GameCube.
Billy Gibson is thinking about getting an Xbox. He's thinking about the 70 incredible titles like Spider-Man and MotoGP. He's thinking about Xbox's awesome graphics and gameplay. What he's not thinking about is landing the 50-50 grind.
Anyone see my board?
Xbox, now $199. Think Xbox.com to win a Cadillac Escalade and up to 70 games. Rated E through T.
Okay, we are back. I got everything put up, everything where it needs to be. I still have light blinding me. Now I don't. So, yeah. Yeah. So what do I need to do next? What should I do next? That is a good question. Alright, yeah. So, I'm gonna hang out inside this TV for a second while I figure out what I'm doing. I'm gonna look on the interwebs, see if there's anything entertaining. I am just some background music. Alright. Yeah, we no longer need that. Let's see what's on the YouTubes. YouTubes. I'll jump over to Newgrim. The war is over. Trump announces ceasefire in Israel. Israel-Iran war. Wow. Okay. We'll watch Timcast live in 9 minutes. Don't need notifications on for that. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty big information. So, let me get out of... Alright. Let me get on this side to see everything. We have a bit of time to spare, so we'll just go ahead and open up that, see what that's about. Friendship is Witchcraft, the year of our Lord 2024? Yep, it's actually happened. Okay, something about Disney and Hippo. I just realized. She looks like Mary Poppins, but creepy. Let's put Creepy Poppins here. No. Hey, Jubby! 3 months ago. I love watching Tuned In with Jim Cummings. Yeah, he has a lot of good people on there. And he's the voice of Petey. Yuck. Oh. He's not my son. Woman instantly regrets paternity fraud after man does this. Missing Link, Ironhide, Ratchet, and MGG. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. Hi, oh, everybody knows, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. Metroid Black Ops. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I thought this was 3D printed, just from the colors alone. I really did. I thought this was all 3D printed, but no, this is actual plastic. Cool. God, it has that old school transformation design. Kind of makes me the toys I used to get, cheap ones, but this is a lot fancier. Okay, yeah.
Is people with kids that act like everyone in the world should just bend over backwards and cater to them because...
So I was initially going to stitch this out of costume, but then I thought, you know what, I'm recording as Mary Poppins today, I may as well just stitch this as Mary Poppins, at least in the costume, because it's highly ironic considering the story I'm about to tell. So I've been a kids entertainer since 2014, but I've been a Disney princess impersonator at kids parties for the last 7 years, which I've recently retired from doing because, not gonna lie, your girl's a little bit sick of it now. But back in 2018, I had a weekend where I had back-to-back aerial parties one morning, like literally two-hour parties, one after the other. But then in the afternoon, I was invited as a guest to a friend's birthday barbecue. So I finished my aerial parties and then went to this friend's birthday barbecue just as myself, like I said, invited as a guest. I was not entertaining, I was not dressed as a princess, I was literally going as myself. And obviously it was a friend's birthday, so there were a lot of Prosecco and Pimm's, and I was getting very merry. I was getting very, very drunk. So I'm at this birthday barbecue just chatting to my friends, and then this woman approaches me and she comes and sits next to me. She taps me on the shoulder and she goes, "Oh, you're Georgia, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yes, hello, stranger, nice to meet you." Now, I should probably point out that at this birthday barbecue, obviously there were a couple of children there, just kind of running amok, having fun in the garden. Like I said, it was a beautiful sunny day, so the parents were just getting merry whilst their kids were running around. And this woman goes, "Oh, that's my daughter over there." And I went, "Okay, that's nice." She then said, "You're a kids entertainer, aren't you? That's what they just told me. You're a kids entertainer." And I had a sudden feeling that I knew exactly what she was going to ask me. I said,
"Oh dear,
yes,
no.
I am. I actually had 2 parties this morning, funnily enough." She then says, "Oh, the kids are really, really bored. Do you think you could just, like, run a party game for them? Or, like, entertain them just for a bit, just so they're out of our hair for a couple of hours, you know?" And like I said, I'd been at this birthday barbecue for a little while. I'd been drinking a lot of Prosecco and Pimm's. I hadn't eaten anything yet. I was very, very...
Oh no. This lady, oh no, this lady did that. Oh my. I see. So, anybody with common sense or common decency would say, why would absolutely not, yes, absolutely not do this to this woman. What? By the way, I'm pretty sure I need to put it in my earbud so it's not doing feedback. Absolutely not. I'm sorry. She is not. You are not entitled to her time. She's already very drunk, and you're gonna throw her out because you think you could get free entertainment out of her because of what she does. I'm afraid you're going to be very, very wrong. I hate people like this. I really do. Let's continue. my. I think. And I agree. Honestly, I think she was in the right here. Although her Mary Poppins gives me the creep. The lipstick is too red, honey. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. I love these other things. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Damn. Hmm. What misunderstanding? How do you think we found things? Eventually, we die down up onto that desire. Sewer. Under. What is it, a coffin? It's just a giant stone. Okay, yeah, these things. Let's go with Cummings. Many voice actors. Hmm. Oh. Yep. Oh. Oh, that's actually sweet. Alright, so, let's see what, Mr. Tim Pool has to say. While my hand gets attacked by a cat. Cat? Yeah. Yeah. Fun. Reality? Reality is going to implode on itself. Yeah, I got a kitty, and I'm gonna snuggle the kitty while I watch this. What do you think? You say something? Watch out! No, you can't. You can't take the mic. You can't take the mic. I know you want to be a star, but you can't take the mic. You'll be bigger than I am. Okay, that's not hard. I'm nobody. That's why I'm NoPony. I'm Mr.NoPony. I'm a NoPony. I am just a NoPony. NoPony here. I'm having some issues with Twitchy. Oh. All right. That's good. Yeah, that's piece through strength for you. He started a war before it began. Just tremendous, absolutely tremendous, a grand, absolutely tremendous victory. There is no other victory that I could have. It must all be tremendous, tremendously amazing.
Turn around. Get your rug turned around like you want.
Oh no, I haven't. That's better tonight. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What can I have with rice? Buffalo. Yeah, 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 Oh, I think I thought it might be a deal. BGM. Right, I don't have that working. I'm an idiot.
It only lasted about 6 months, the revolution. Maybe 4 months on
But
6 months.
didn't a tyrant take over? I mean, isn't that what got us into this situation?
But it wasn't really bloody. The king at the time didn't fight back, and everyone was like, "Why aren't you stopping the rebellion?" And he was just like sitting in his castle, not fighting it.
Yeah,
and so
I'm a
they
fucking
deposed
idiot,
him, and it
so
was relatively peaceful as revolutions for a country that size. And it could happen again.
And what I think you're saying is that, I mean, they can change, but I don't want to be involved in it. Like all the coups we've done around whether it's Guatemala or Iran again, I don't want that to happen. They can do whatever they want.
Thing is, the Shah's son, who's in America right now, is the most likely candidate to be installed as the king of Iran, and we would definitely, because he's in America, we would somehow we'd be involved with putting him up in the creation.
The issue with regime change nowadays compared to even 20 or 30 years ago is the internet and the speed of communications. So a couple hundred years ago, you wanted regime change, you literally need only stand in a building. You'd be standing in the building, sitting on the throne, being like, we're in charge now. And if the king was in exile, then people didn't listen. So you take a look at even 100 years ago, how these revolutions took place, and it was just like, we've stormed the building and 1,000 people surrounded it, and now the entire country of millions of people has a new form of government. These days, there's digital communications.
And you saw that in France in World War II, because the French, Paris was taken over. 500 years ago, entire country of France would have served the Germans, but half of France split off because Charles de Gaulle went into exile in England and was able to kind of lead this resistance via telephone. And now we've got the internet.
Yeah. So if, say, a group of people were to like storm the Capitol, like during the counting of the electoral vote, and they stood in that building, literally nothing would happen. The president doesn't change. Nobody loses or gains control. Occupying the building and controlling the force there changes nothing.
That's why I always wondered about the term insurrection. It never really made sense to me on what happened that day.
High stakes king of the hill. That's all it was.
That's why insurrection is the wrong term for what happened on January 6th. I would say insurrection in Portland, as it is applied legally, in that local laws are not being followed, that is a legal insurrection for which the president can invoke the Insurrection Act and call in the National Guard to go shut down those riots.
Yeah,
So
the police led the J6ers in. Like,
Right.
There's all that video of them actually giving them a nice tour. Unlike in Portland and other places where they took over streets and set up camp, killed innocent people.
Some entrances had a different dynamic, right?
Those people were Antifa and red hats.
I want to say for the record, since there's 100 million people listening or whatever it is, I do want regime change in Iran in a peaceful manner in some sort. And I'm very happy with this announcement of a ceasefire. Although I said I don't believe anything coming out of their mouths, I'm very happy to hear it regardless. I think it's a very good diplomatic move. I know that Putin at first was like, I think we're going to help Iran. We might help them get a nuke. At least this is what I was reading these reports. And then later he's like, actually, we're just going to help them diplomatic.
It wasn't Medvedev.
Oh yeah, it was Medvedev. And then they just kind of walked it back, and they're like, we're gonna help diplomatically. They just wanted to solve the problem. They don't want to blow stuff up.
And bringing it back to moms real quick, like I don't really care all that much about the nukes, honestly. I care more about sending our children to war, and like that's the possibility of this when it's possibly escalating, and it still could, and sending kids to war.
Yeah, look,
very,
I have
very upsetting.
2 sons, 24 and 17, so they're both ideal candidates.
Prime fighting age.
Yeah, if there was some kind of draft, but I still, personally, I can't speak for my, all 130,000 Moms for Liberty members at the moment, but personally, I still support what happened. I, that photo, it's not up right now, but the photo of President Trump walking out with Marco Rubio behind him, and you know what I'm talking about was really, well, that's part of it, but you see Pete Hegseth even behind that. You see all 4 or 5 of them standing there. I kept going back to that photo and just looking at these men that I feel like we've gotten to know over the last few years. These are good men that I know of. I've met their spouses. I feel like I have some familiarity with them, and to see the looks on their faces, I mean, they knew what the decisions they were making. They knew there was some risk, even if there was calculated and risk, and they felt like it was in the right direction. And I just am, I'm thankful for them. I'm thankful that they are making the hard choices and leading the way.
Well, it is the suburban mom that won Trump the election. Now, we can always point to a different demographic and say they're the ones, but we know is that Trump was trailing among suburban moms in 2020.
What do now?
Come on. For 6 to 7 months. Hyper-local issues, Mr. Jones
Seriously?
in your local school down the streets wearing a dress in the 5th grade class. Did you know? Make sure you vote up and down the ballot against people that are supporting this. Make sure you know that the Biden administration rewrote Title IX to allow this in that school. We sent them texts. We handwrote postcards, thousands and thousands of handwritten postcards, knocking doors, all those things. Long story short, in those 4 states, we turned out an average of 93% of those women, about 250,000 in each state. That's over 800,000 women that wouldn't have traditionally voted in an election turned out to vote.
I think angry moms definitely help win. I mean, you saw everything that happened during lockdowns with kids.
Oh, they were
school
mad.
Closures and all that
so mad.
stuff.
Where were you in the past few years? Were you always a Trump supporter?
I have voted for Trump traditionally, but I'll admit in 2016, I walked into that voting booth not going to vote for him, and just
You're gonna have to leave the show now. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Then come back. I didn't even vote that year.
Then what do you got to say about me? I stood there and I was going to go third party, and this is a little bit of a crazy story. The only other time I voted third party was the Bush-Gore election. And I sat up all night like, I'm the reason this is happening, because I didn't vote for Bush. It's my fault. I personally felt like, we went through the hanging chads because of me. And so I told myself that night I would never do third party. I kept thinking about that, and I wasn't going to vote for Hillary Clinton. And so I ended up voting for him. But it's been an interesting road. I wasn't always the loyalist that I am now.
Do you find that, moms view him as icky?
Less and less.
Less and less. Wow.
Yeah.
Because he's chilled out? Why do you think that is?
Look, he campaigned on several things that had to do with Moms for Liberty issues, the overreach of government, what they saw what the Biden administration did to parents that were just standing up trying to protect their children. He stood on that issue. He stood on the issue of keeping boys out of women's sports. He understands what's going on in education, and he has listened to us on those. And he came right out the gate as soon as he took office, and executive order after executive order after going in. Look, we are just women. We're strong, independent women. But to see someone stand up for the issues that has the power to do something about it, and to see him stand there and do that on our behalf to protect our children, he's got our support hands down. Women are coming over left and right because of that.
Do you think Melania is a huge influence on that? Because I'm just starting to think maybe she's really morally pushing, helping him.
Of course, behind every man there is a good woman.
I wish she was more vocal in the world. I've thought that since the beginning. I mean, she's doing what she can. I think she's
people make fun of her accent.
English is her second language, or not her first language. At least I think she might have said stuff like that in the early days. Her fourth language. Yeah, she speaks
like 5 languages.
Genius. A genius woman.
I'm sure she's self-conscious that she speaks 5 languages fluently. Oh my gosh. She's amazing is what I'm trying to say.
And I agree. Tim, you were about to ask a question too?
No.
Oh, yeah. Melania is a kind of an unsung hero over the last decade in a lot of ways. She's very grounded.
What happened to Democrats?
They lost their mind.
Freaking mind. No,
and
I've never
couldn't
been a
find them
Democrat,
anymore.
but I will say a good portion of our organization are former Democrats. We even have some Democrats, which the left in the newspaper would never, or the mainstream media would never tell you that. I think I was telling you the other day that we were in I was in a meeting in Ohio with my chapter leaders from the state. Half of the room had voted for Obama, and so they're coming over because they don't like what's happening to their kids. What
do they tell you when they come in and they're like, oh, I didn't, because they're apprehensive. There's a lot of stigma that goes along with it. What do they tell you when they come in?
Well, the first one said it. I can't remember how the conversation started, but the first one said it when we were in a group setting, and the other started poking fun at her. And then one said to the other, you can't laugh at me. You voted for Obama, and then you voted for Obama. And before you knew it, I was like, okay, raise your hands if you voted for Obama. And it was half the room. And, a lot of them just said he seemed hopeful. They didn't follow politics. They didn't vote in local elections, no idea who their local elected leaders are. But they looked at Obama as someone who was offering hope and change.
All right. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and follow that way for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed watching me put together that fun Megazord Sword, either way or either version I do of it. I will be back again on another day. I don't know what my schedule is going to be like tomorrow. I have things I have to do at IRL and, you know, things like that. You know, I mean, things are just a little hectic around here, so if you don't mind, like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on kick.com, x.com, twitch.com, or twitch.tv. And I'll see you guys on the next time. I hope you have a beautiful and wonderful day. Bye.